In this lesson, we will talk in detail about elements of drama, and these are the topics we will discuss. Number 1, theme. 2, plot. 3, characters. 4, dialogue or dialogue. Both spellings are correct. The one refers to American spelling and the second refers to British spelling, but both having the same meaning. 5, setting or background. 6, performance. 7, music. 8, visual element. So these are the 8 topics we will discuss at the moment in lesson 3. So let's discuss and start. We move on to the actual discussion. Number 1, theme. Look, what is theme? What role does it have to play in drama, in a play? Number 1, the theme refers to the central idea of a play. It can either be expressed through dialogue or action, or can be understood after watching the entire performance. Look, here the name itself suggests the theme refers to the central idea of a play. Means theme is the central idea of the play, central thought of the play, central direction of a play. It can either be expressed through dialogue or action. And how the theme is expressed to the audience? It may be expressed through dialogue or through action, or can be understood after watching the entire performance. And you cannot understand the goal of the theme, the purpose of the theme, the very meaning of theme, unless or until you completely watch the performance, completely watch the drama, completely watch the play. That is the idea in point number 1. Go to the point number 2. The theme is the philosophy that forms the base of the story. It is the moral lesson that we get at the end. It is the message that the play gives to the audience. So some more information about theme. Look, theme is the philosophy upon which the drama is based, upon which all actions and all dialogues and all sorts of movements on the stage go on. That is the point here. It is the moral lesson that we get at the end. And at the end, what do we get? What do we achieve after watching the drama, after watching the play? So what you receive as a moral lesson could be the theme of the play. It is the message that the play gives to the audience. Means theme is actually the message. Look, theme basically, for example, when I want to write a play, when I want to write a drama, then before I start writing, here comes in our mind the idea to write a drama, idea to write a play. But to write upon what subject? What should be the subject matter? The very thinking towards selecting the subject matter could result into the creation of the theme for a play. That is the idea. Go to the point number 2. For example, the theme of a play could be of how greed leads to one's destroyer, or how the wrong use of authority ultimately results in the end of power. The theme of any play is open to discussion, is open to creative thinking, is open to how and what you want to write. For example, here just 2 examples are given, that any theme of a play could be based around greed. Greed means that somebody always wants more and more. He already has, but he wants still more and more. This greed sometimes can lead to somebody's destruction, somebody's failure in life. So sometimes in the drama we see that there is a character, there is a person, he already is very rich, but he still wants to become richer and richer, and sometimes this greed to become richer leads that person, that character, to a failure in life. This could be the theme of the play. Likewise, The wrong use of authority ultimately results in the end of the power. Wrong use of authority means that if somebody is very powerful politically and socially and he wants to have more and more power, particularly this kind of theme always results when we write historical play. So sometimes the wrong use of authority, the wrong use of power might also lead to the destruction of a personality, to the destruction of an individual, and this kind of topic might also be the theme of the play. Point number, this should be point number 4, it is point number 1, 2, this should be 3, and this should be 4. This should be the point number 4, sorry for the mistake. The theme of a play could be blind love, or the strength of selfless love and sacrifice, or true friendship. So here we have 4 or 5 types of themes could be materialized as the topic to write about the play. We talked about the greed, we talked about the wrong use of authority. The theme of the play could also be about blind love, could also be about a strength of selfless love, could also be about sacrifice, could also be about true friendship. Look, the world is open to select the kind of theme you want to have. The idea is that theme is the central idea of the play, central matter of the play. It is expressed through dialogue or action, and theme is the basis of the story. This is the message we get at the end, and theme could be selected for any play depending upon what you want to write about. That is the idea in this topic of theme about the first one. Go to the next. Plot. Our second element of drama is plot. Point number 1. The order of events in a play is known as plot. Essentially, the plot is the story that the play narrates. So it's very clear. Order of events in a play. Look, what is drama? What is a play? Play is a series of events, series of happenings. Something keeps on happening, keeps on going. So to keep all those happenings and events in order is known as plot. Essentially, the plot is the story that the play narrates. So the plot is what? Plot is a type of story that the play narrates, play explains to the audience. Point number 2. The entertainment value of a play depends largely on the sequence of events in the story. And entertainment value of a play means that if the sequence of events is logically arranged, is dramatically arranged in a play, that adds to the entertainment value, means that play becomes more entertaining, more worthy to watch, and so on. Go to the point number 3. The connection between the events and the characters in them form an integral part of the plot. What the characters do, how they interact, the course of their lives as narrated by the story, and what happens to them in the end constitutes the plot. Look, the plot is very big, not small. And in plot we find a lot of things. Here there is a connection between the events and the characters. Second, what the characters do, how they interact, and the course of their lives as narrated by the story, and what is happening, all sorts of actions and connections and relations happening in the story, happening in the drama, can be constituted as a plot. 4. A struggle between two individuals, the relation between them, a struggle with self, a dilemma, or any form of conflict of one character with oneself or another character in the play goes into forming the story's plot. So the plot is very big, very wide. Plot covers the entire area, entire landscape of drama, and there in the plot there could be a struggle between two individuals. There could also be a relation between the two individuals, two persons. The plot could also be allowed to struggle with oneself. The plot of a drama could also be allowed dilemma, conflict with oneself or with other characters, and so on. All these things constitute as plot. So we have here sequence of numbers as okay, 1 2 3. All points are important, so please keep them in mind. Point number 3, that is characters. First, the characters are persons in a drama. Each character in a play has a personality of its own and a set of principles and beliefs. Look here, characters briefly are persons in a play or in a drama. And each character in the play has its own personality, he has his own principles and beliefs, and accordingly he performs and moves on, and we watch. Go to the point number 2. The main character in the play, who the audience identifies with, is the protagonist. She represents the theme of the play. Look here, the main character, the main person in the play is the person with whom the audience identifies. And the main person, the main character in the play is also known as, technically in literature, the protagonist, the hero, the most powerful person, the most central character. So he is the protagonist and he is the hero of the play, and he represents the entire play. He represents the theme of the play. All the plot and all the theme moves around the protagonist. Point number 3, the character that the protagonist conflicts with is the antagonist or villain. We have one protagonist, the main character, the hero, and the opposite of protagonist is antagonist. We also called villain. Sometimes we call anti-hero. So there is a good character and there is bad character. The good character normally is the protagonist. The bad character is normally the antagonist. So there is always a conflict, a struggle and fight between the protagonist and the antagonist. And at the end, normally we see the protagonist wins over the antagonist or the villain. That is the point. Go to the 4. While some characters play an active role throughout the story, some are only meant to take the story forward. Look, there are a number of characters, a number of persons in a play. But as I told you, some characters are what we call leading characters, like the protagonist and the antagonist. But there still are some other characters. They too play an important part. But their participation is not as big as protagonist or antagonist. But they do contribute to the making of the drama or in taking the story forward in a play. 5. The way in which the characters are portrayed and developed is known as characterization. So characters and characterization. Characterization is the process of portraying and developing the characters. Look, any character in a drama does not happen in 1 second or in 1 minute. You don't understand a particular character, a particular protagonist or antagonist unless or until slowly you watch it to the end. And in the process, when the developed character is developing, the character being portrayed and its influence coming upon you, this process of portraying and developing and creating character to its end is known as characterization. So these are the 5 points. Here 2 points are very important. Briefly, if I ask sometimes to explain in the examination, what are the characters? You can write characters are persons in a drama. For brief answer, short answer. And what is characterization? Then you can say characterization, a process of portraying and developing character in drama, can be called as characterization. We move on to the next. That is point number 4, dialogue or dialogue. The sound is the same, spellings are different because of the British and American English spelling difference. So let us read point number 1. Please let me have a glass of water. Point number one, we have number one, dialogue is a conversation between the characters in the play. The story of a play is taken forward by means of dialogues. Look, dialogue is nothing but conversation between the character in the play. And the story moves forward in a play through dialogue because drama is all about dialogue and actions on the stage. Point number two, the contents of the dialogues and the quality of the delivery have a major role to play in the impact that the play has on the audiences. Look, dialogue is very important. How you speak, the quality of the delivery of your speech has an important role upon the performance of the play. And this ultimately has influence upon the audience. So the delivery of dialogue, the delivery of a speech, the delivery of conversation in the context, this plays an important role, and the best dialogue in a play will have high impact upon the audience. Point number three, dialogues are important in revealing the personalities of the characters. Look, dialogues are very important. Sometimes some dialogues, some conversations become so famous that audience associates those dialogues with those characters. Sometimes dialogues represent reveal the personalities of the characters. 4. The words used, the accent, tone, pattern of a speech, and even the pauses in a speech say a lot about the character and help reveal not just his personality but also his social status, past, and family background as given by the play. Look, dialogues contribute immensely to the movement of a story in a play. Dialogue includes the words, choice of words, what we speak, the accent level, your tone, your pattern of a speech, your pauses in a speech. All these things say a lot about the character. They reveal the personality, they reveal the social status of the characters, they reveal in what time that character was born, how he behaved, what was his family background, and so on. The way you speak reflects your background, reflects your personality, reflects the overall picture of the person to others, to the audience. And that is dialogue. We move on to the next. 5. Setting or background. You may call setting, you may call background, both are same. Two things are very important in setting or background: time and place. Look at the first. The time and place where a story is set are important elements of drama. Look here. The timing of drama is very important. What time this particular event happened. Whether you are going to tell a story about modern time, medieval time, ancient time, 10 years before, 100 years before. So the time frame is also very important, and this helps in the setting or background of drama. After that, we have the place where this drama happened. Did it happen in the village, or in the city, or in the rural area, or in the office? What is the setting? What is the place where this drama was set into? So these are very two important elements, time and place, to set the background, to prepare the background of the play. 2. The era or time in which the incidents in the play take place influence the characters in their appearance and personalities. The time setting may affect the central theme of the play, the issues raised, if any, the conflict, and the interactions between the characters. So this point number 2 is all about explanation of time in the setting or background. So time is very important. Time tells you at what time the incidents took place and how characters behaved during that period of time, how they looked, and this time also raises a number of questions. In medieval time, the social circumstances were different, political circumstances were different, so the conflict was different. In modern time, the conflict is different. So the time contributes immensely in the making of a drama, in the creation of a plot, in the creation of the theme. Why? Because before you think what to write, you also think of at what time this kind of a story happened. Go to the point number 3. The historical and social context of the play is also defined by the time and place where it is set, of course. So, the moment you think you are going to write a play, then the time comes to your mind at what time this event took place. And this forms your social and historical background of your play. It gives the proper direction. Point number 4. The time period and the location in which the story is set affect the play's staging. And this also helps in the performance of the play. In the overall, what you call setting of the play, background of the play. So the time, period, and location, they are very important, and they affect the performance of the play as well. So particularly point number 1 and the part of point number 2 and 3, they are very, very important to keep in mind. Point number 4 you can skip, because point number 4 more or less is the same as the point number 1. We move on to the next. 6. Performance. Number 1, it is another important element of drama, as the impact that a story has on the audience is largely affected by the performances of the actors. Look, performance is again very important element. Why? Because how you act, how you behave, how you perform really on the stage, that matters. And there are many actors in the world, but some of the actors are very famous. Why? Because their performance is far more impressive than the others. So performance is your action on the stage in real life, in real situations. 2. When a written play is transformed into a stage performance, the actors are cast for different roles. Look here, as I told you, performance is your action on the stage. And about performance, so different actors are assigned different roles to play in the drama. 3. A particular actor, actress in a certain role may be more or less accepted and appreciated than another actor in the same role. Look at some actors, some actresses, they are assigned particular role. Sometimes some actors, they are very honest in performing that kind of role, and they are associated with those types of roles, and people love them always to do the role again and again. But there are some other characters, they may not fit into the same kind of roles with that much impressiveness as the other characters. So it depends upon the individual personalities, individual characters, and individual actors who play the role. 4. As different actors are cast for different roles, their roles are more or less appreciated depending on their performances. Look, in a drama, in a film or in a drama, there are many actors. They all perform well, but some of the actors, they leave a last impact upon the heart and mind of the audience. Why and how does it happen? Because of the level of the performance, because of the quality of the performance that particular actor does on the stage, and it leaves a last impact upon the audience. 5. The stage performances of a play's characters, especially those in lead roles, directly affect the success and popularity of a play. Lead roles means those characters playing the main part, playing the central part, what we call the protagonist and the antagonist. So the success and popularity of a play depends upon the quality of the performance of the leading characters in a drama or in a film. These are the 5 points. They are all important. We move on to the next. Music. 7.1. This element includes the use of sounds and rhythm in dialogues, as well as music compositions that are used in the plays. Look here, music background is very important, and music helps sometimes between the dialects, delivery of the dialogue, quality of the dialogue. Means the music adds to the quality of the dialogue. The background score, here a score more or less like that of recording. The songs, the sound effects used should complement the situation and the characters in it. Look here, the music in any play, in any drama, or in any film is in combination with the situations, is in relation with the theme, and the background score, that is to say recording, songs, sound effects, and so on, they all complement the situation and the characters and the dialects. Everything is well balanced. You cannot put any type of music you want. The music must be relevant to the situations and must be well balanced so that it can give effective message to the audience. Point number 3, the right kind of sound effects or music, if placed at the right points in the story, act as a great supplement to the high and low points in the play. Of course, the right kind of music at the right time supplements, adds to the quality of the drama. If the right time of music is added to the right situation, it means the performance of drama will have high impact. And if the music is not inserted, not played at the right time, it means the performance of drama will be not that much high, it will be low, not impressive. 4, the music and the lyrics should go well with the play's theme. If the scenes are accompanied by pieces of music, they become more effective on the mind and heart of audience. So the same point, again a repetition of the point 1 and 2. What we call is that the music must go well with the central idea of the play, and if it is done well, performed well, it has effective, what we call, impact upon the mind and heart of audience. We move on to the next, and that is the last point, visual element. Number 1, the visual element deals with the scenes, costumes, and special effects used in a play. Look here, not only the dialogue and the theme and the plot and the characters or the, what we call, the music are important. The visual element is also important. What kind of scene requires what kind of costumes, dresses, special effects, they are very important. Visual element may include your physical appearance, the light setup on the stage, and so on. They are very important. The visual element of drama, also known as the spectacle, renders a visual appeal to the stage setup. Look here, the visual element of drama known as a spectacle that it creates a very good high visual impact, and it gives a visual appeal to the audience. Number 3, the costumes and makeup must suit the characters. So the visual element also includes costumes and makeup, how you dress, how you look like. If you are a character of king, so the dress and the costume of king must be used upon that character so that he looks like king. He should also be allowed to have makeup like that of a king. If there is a character playing the role of a beggar, playing the role of a rich man, the poor man, so not only through dialogue or through actions they should behave according to the roles being assigned to them, but in appearance they should also look like them. And when we say appearance, here comes the role of visual element. So we have to prepare that character to physically look like that. So we have to prepare the costumes, we have to go after the makeup, and so on. So visual element is another important element of drama in literature. And I think this is the end of our lecture. It is time to discuss questions for the examination. Number 1, what are the most 8 common elements of drama? Write their names only, do not explain. In the first question, write only the names like theme, like play, like dialogue, music, visual element, and so on. So just write the names. Why? Because we just want to know if you keep in mind the most 8 common elements of drama or not. So do not explain. Move on to the next. Explain the following elements of drama. Now here you have to explain theme, plot, characters, setting or background, visual element. Look here. If I say explain the following elements of drama in detail, then write all the points we have discussed about. But when I say explain the following elements of drama briefly, in short, then cut short. If there are 3 points, 4 points, you can cut short to 1 point or 2 points, not more, because I am asking answer in brief. So explain the following elements of drama. I have kept it open. You try to prepare yourself in detail. Sometimes you can cut them short for the examination. We move on to the next type of questions. Write true or false against each statement. Number 1, the theme does not reflect the central idea of a play. Is it true or false? Go back to the text and find out the answer. 2, the order of events in a play is known as plot. Go to the section of plot and find out the answer. 3, the characters are persons in a drama. Is it true or false? Check out the answer. 4, dialogue is an action of physical movement in the play. Again do the same. 5, setting refers to time and place in which a story is placed. Go back to the setting or background and check out the answer. So these are 5 true false questions. There could be 10 true or false questions. It depends. But here I have given you just a simple how true and false questions can be formed. See the answer. Number 1 question is false. Number 2 true. Number 3 also true. Number 4 false. Number 5 true. So what is the idea? Please try to understand the concept so that any type of true or false question is formed. If your understanding, if your comprehension is better, you can answer the questions very easily. And this is the end of our lesson 3. Hope you have enjoyed as much as you have understood. Best of luck and best wishes. Goodbye.